Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. Emily Dickinson. Okay, The Dreams in the Peacock House. It is definitely not from 1992, so... that must be like in universe, I guess. Okay. Okay, so you write sentences into the bottom. So this is like old school adventure games. Some of like the earliest computer games before graphics were just like text-based. So you can look, take, use, and open. You can also use directional commands to move around, such as north, south, east, west, up, and down. Type help to have an available list of commands, as well as inventory to have a list of items. You'll sometimes see words that are preceded with a star or asterisk, which corresponds to words you can use in the prompt bar. You can also try other words and combinations outside the main ones to unlock secrets. Will you be able to find them? You can write full sentences as well as only the necessary words. A sentence like use the screwdriver on the vent will work as well as use screwdriver vent. As long as the important words are in the prompt in lowercase, the sentence will work. Here's an example of a possible scene. You're standing in a small room, a door to the north, while a vent is on the eastern wall, a screwdriver is on the floor. Open door, the door is locked. Look at vent, a large vent is in the wall, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, hibernaculum. You are standing in a small room in the basement of an old house. The walls are covered with moldy wallpaper. A large broken mirror is next to you with a hammer on the floor. There is a door to the north and a red button on the wall. Okay. Let's take a look at the mirror. I'm wondering if we smashed it or... You see your reflection through the broken pieces still in place. You look miserable. Okay. Also, it says 5 mystic eyes remain. I assume that's like a hint system. Okay, and then we can pull up a little map here. Okay. Let's look at the hammer. Old rusty hammer. The name Maxwell is engraved on the handle. Well, we're gonna take the hammer. I'm a pack rat. I will collect everything in a game if it lets me. Do you think we can take a piece of the mirror? You can't take the mirror, it's way too heavy. Okay. What was the room again? There's a door to the north and the red button on the wall. Let's look at the button. A large red button. The more you stare at it, the more you want to push it. Yeah. It's a red button. You almost always want to push the red button. Let's look at the door here. That's an old wooden door. Does the door open? It's locked. Okay. Then we probably have to push the button. You push the button and hear a voice that says, I want the best for you. Huh? I guess maybe we like hit button with a hammer? I don't know. Is going around smashing things really the best thing to start doing right away? I don't know that I have any other ideas, though. I could try hitting the door with the hammer. We could maybe try that first. Use hammer on door. I see. You break the knob off the door, which is now open. You broke the hammer in the process. Okay. The door is open. Okay. I guess go north then. Okay. North, you're in a dark cellar with brick walls. You hear faint whispers calling to you. Well, that's not concerning. A stairway to the north leads upstairs with a small table next to it. A few steps are to the east, with cellar doors leading outside, as well as 2 doors to the west and south of the room. Okay, so we can go lots of directions. Is there anything on the table? A note is on the table where you can read, "The renovations of the Peacock house are nearly complete. Soon the eyes will be stored away and my slumber will begin. Argus." Who's Argus, I wonder? So the south door is the one we just came through. Let's look at the west door. Old doors. Let's try opening the west door. It's unlocked. Okay. Well, let's just go west, I guess. You're in a small bathroom with a shower, a toilet, and a sink. The door is to the east. Okay. Look at shower. Hasn't been used in a very long time. What about the sink? Slightly dripping and a toothbrush is on it. Well, I'm going to take the toothbrush, I guess. I don't know why. I guess we'll look at the toilet. I don't know what I'm expecting. It hasn't been cleaned in quite some time. Lovely. Can I wash my hands? No. Well, I guess we go out of the room then. So north leads upstairs. East is cellar doors leading outside. Maybe we go east first, try and go outside. You're standing outside the house for the first time in years. You feel a cold breeze against your skin. The sun is starting to rise and you see a path leading east. The cellar doors are to the west. Well, there must be a house, right? Look at the house. Okay, it doesn't tell me anything. Well, okay. I'm curious to go back into the house and go upstairs then. Okay. Waiting room. You're standing in a large waiting room. There are several chairs in the room and a clock on one of the walls. There are 4 locked doors in each direction, a hatch on the ceiling leading upstairs, as well as the staircase leading downstairs. Look at the clock, I guess. It's a broken clock stuck at 6:09 a.m. Okay. Is that significant? I do not know. Can I take the clock? No, I can't. Okay. Well, I guess I can go upstairs into the attic or up a ladder or something. Hatch on the ceiling. Okay, that is the attic then. You're in a large attic filled with cobwebs and dust. The air is dry and you can barely see anything in the dark. A window is facing east with a workbench next to it. The hatch leading down is behind you to the south. Well, let's look at the workbench. A closed mailbox is on the workbench with an open diary next to it. Read the diary. Looking at the diary, you can read, I barely have any strength left. I cannot bear this anymore. Argus. Can we take the diary? You can't take that. Okay. We open the mailbox. A strange golden eye is in the mailbox. It glows slightly, and you can hear faint whispers coming from it. Okay. Let's see. What do we have in our inventory? Just the toothbrush. I guess I'm gonna take the weird whispering eye. Upon taking the eye in your hand, you suddenly feel drowsy and fall asleep. Well, maybe that wasn't the best idea. And now it is not a text-based adventure. I guess we can only go forward. Ooh, we're in a maze. I guess for now we'll do the trick of always taking right turns. Oh. There is a minotaur in the maze as well, it would seem. Here you are. What have you done to Oppo? I have no idea what Oppo is. Stop running in the wrong direction. What? Well, this just got interesting. I guess I have to watch the creepy TV. The chaotic elegance of the bourgeoisie, I think. That's how that's read. Cave of Kelpis. Argus. Oh, there's a butterfly here. Interesting. Hello? Who are you? What am I doing here? Don't you remember? We just had a wonderful conversation about the teapot theorem and the probability that our own existence is merely an entertainment for people outside of this plane of reality. Well, that's a rather deep conversation topic. Argus, what the heck? I mean, I'm not following you, sir. And who are you exactly? Also, why is there a laugh track? I thought it was obvious. You're in a dream, Argus. It's okay if you don't understand everything. And you know who I am. I'm you. Well, and it says Don Argus as his name. Well, a more elegant version of yourself. I'm really confused right now. Is it possible to have a stroke in a dream? Probably. I don't see why you couldn't have a stroke in a dream. The dreams are already weird enough. having one while having a stroke or something. Let's not think about that right now. We need to focus on something more important. What's more important than dying? And why is there a laugh track? You're not dying, Argus. But you're not really living as well lately, am I wrong? What are you talking about? Of course I'm living. I wouldn't have this confusing dream otherwise, would I? Well, that is sound logic. Are you sure about that? I think you know full well you're currently in a coma, Argus. Stuck in this cave you don't belong to. Don't you think it's time to leave this place and go back to your life? I don't know if I can go back. And why is that? I guess we get to pick something. Let's see. I mean, if we're in a coma, I don't know that we can just decide to wake up, but I don't know how that works. I have no idea why people would be mad at me or upset because I have no memory prior to starting the game. I guess I'm going to say I'm trapped here. I don't know if we are trapped or not. We haven't fully explored everywhere. But I'm assuming if he's saying we're in a coma, then we're like trapped here in this coma. You're not trapped, Argus. Far from it. Come with me. I want to show you something. Now, I'm going to do a simple reading with these cards and see what's going on with you. Go ahead and pick a first card. Okay, so we're having a dream in a coma, and now we're doing a tarot reading in our coma dream. This is very weird. Let's examine your past. Pick a card. Well, there is only one card. The Fool. I see someone who was optimistic and always curious about his surroundings. You had a great sense of humor and a joy of living. But there was a lot of wandering as well. Always uncertain about the meaning of your life. Slowly drifting into oblivion. But that was who you were back then. Let's see how you're doing in the present. Go ahead and pick a second card. Did you shuffle this deck? I didn't see you shuffle this deck. The Hermit, obviously. There is a lot of solitude and longing in you, Argus. You keep doubting yourself and stay 2 steps behind. Crushed by a burden you don't want to think about anymore. But you realize something through all that sorrow. It's that you cannot do it alone. You need a guide, even if it comes from within yourself. To be one with your shadows and embrace that imperfect vision of who you really are. Which leads us to the last card. Let's see what your future holds. A hospital visit if I'm in a coma, clearly. The Tower. Interesting. This is a good card for you, Argus. A painful one, but an important one nonetheless. I see a great liberation and prosperity coming soon. You'll be able to fully express yourself and accomplish your dreams. To live exactly like you always wanted to. Leaving everything behind and starting something new. becoming the best version of yourself. It won't be easy, but I know you have it in you. That's what the cards are telling me, Argus. Now, Argus, it's time. You need to wake up. But all this didn't make any sense. I can't go back. I need more time. You had enough time, Argus. And it doesn't have to make sense right away. But you do need to leave this place and move forward again. Now, wake up. What day is it? I hope no one forgot about me. Blimey, he escaped. The end. Well, that was surreal. Okay, a window is facing east with a workbench next to it. The hatch leading downstairs is behind you to the south. You wake up from a strange dream and can see things with more awareness. A door has unlocked in the waiting room. Oh, and it says 4 mystic eyes remain. Okay. So I was thinking those were clues, but maybe those are the things we're looking for. Let's look back at the workbench, I guess. Okay, the mailbox is closed again. Let's open the mailbox. The mailbox is already open. Okay, well, I found a little bug then. That description doesn't update to say the mailbox is open. Mailbox is empty now. Okay. Let's read the diary again. Did anything change? I guess I haven't looked at the window or out the window. It's dark outside, and the only thing you can see is a pond located near the house. Okay. Okay, I guess we'll go back downstairs. The door to the south is unlocked. Okay, so it just tells me which ones are unlocked. Well, let's see if we can go downstairs again and go east. Okay, so you're standing outside, see path east. Okay. You slowly walk on the path which continues to the east. A small pond is next to you, and the way back to the house is the west. Let's look at the pond. You can see a duck swimming in the pond. Okay, look at the duck, I guess. A beautiful mallard with a green head. You decide to name him Herbert. Well, rather presumptuous of the game to name it for me. It's saying I can go east, but what is east? Okay, so the path keeps going to the east. I guess let's just keep going on this path. You're at the end of the path. A small octagonal building is to the east. A door is in front of you with a sign next to it that says, "Only those with perfect vision may enter the Sanctum Sanctorum." So I assume this door is locked, right? Let's look at the door. Okay, it doesn't tell me anything. The door is locked. Okay. So we'll go back to the house then. And then back up to the waiting room here. I guess it unlocked the south door. That's really the only other place we can go. South, room of the perceptive flame. You're in a large room filled with shadows. Somehow, being in this room makes you feel very nostalgic and brings back bad memories. An antique candle holder is in the middle of the room, while a large table is to the south. A small bookshelf is on the eastern wall, and the exit door is to the north. I guess let's look at the candle holder. Is it lit? Oh. I'm literally looking at it. Okay. You don't have anything with you to light the candles. I presume I am going to be looking for code then. Look at table. There's a small box of matches, a diary, and a few batteries. Look at the matches. Okay, it's not like the matchbox has a clue or anything. Okay, well, we're gonna take the matches or the matchbox. I guess I'm gonna take the batteries too. What's this diary say? An open diary that says, "There are many things I am ashamed of. If only I could burn all those memories and get rid of this burden once and for all. Argus." Okay. So there's the bookshelf we haven't checked out. And that's pretty much it. Okay, look at bookshelf. The bookshelf is almost empty and only contains a partial encyclopedia with volumes 2 and 5 missing. Well, there are 5 candles we need to figure out the order for. So maybe, I don't know how 2 and 5 missing is a clue, but maybe we just don't light 2 and 5 then. Let's see if we can read the books. Sorry, bump the microphone. Read volume 1. Read book. Read encyclopedia. Okay. Use encyclopedia maybe, or book. You can't use that. Okay. I'm probably overcomplicating it then. So we're missing 2 and 5, so did that do anything? Well, they stayed lit. I guess I guess we'll leave to the north. None of the other doors are unlocked. Oh, maybe the clock could use the batteries. Batteries. Yep. Okay, we can't use anything here. 609. I don't think that tells us anything. Other than it's very peculiar that it has AM and PM. If it's a mechanical clock. I don't think there was anything in the attic, right? Yeah, no. Okay, the north stairway leads upstairs. And then east went outside. Yeah, well, I guess it did say maybe we could see better, so maybe let's like go back to that south room. Nothing about the mirror has changed. Your destiny is to keep pushing this button. Well, now I don't want to press the button because you're expecting me to. Let's maybe check the bathroom again. I guess I didn't try using the sink. Oh, I can wash my hands. Okay. It can't use the toilet. Okay. I spelled it wrong. That might be why. Ah, sound effects. Okay. I don't know that I accomplished anything with that, but achievement unlocked. We took a shower. Apparently we haven't taken a shower in years. That's disgusting. I must be able to do something. Do I like use the bookshelf? Is maybe you can't do that. Bookshelf almost empty. Only contains a partial encyclopedia with 2 and 5 missing. Yeah, this parser isn't very intelligent. Let me see if I do help. Look, use, open, take. Like open the bookshelf. can't open it. Now you can type clue if you're stuck. I don't know if I'm stuck yet. Can I take the bookshelf? Encyclopedia? I don't know. Do we need to like light these in order? 1, 3, 4. I feel like that's what I did before, but I guess I don't know if I looked at the batteries. Okay, just small batteries in good condition. Okay. Gamers never look up. Can we look up? You can't look at that. Okay. Game literally won't let me look up. I might wind up having to ask for a clue here. Yeah, I thought it had something to do with which encyclopedias are missing. So, like, let me double check that I wrote that down right. 2 and 5 are missing. So if we look at candle, do I have to spell out the whole thing? So, like, I lit everything but 2 and 5. I don't know that anything changed when I did that. But that seems like it would be the obvious answer. I guess I haven't tried lighting only the ones that are missing. I'm going to be kind of annoyed if that's the answer. Of course, that's the answer. This is just like when we were playing Escape together and we were putting in we were putting in the opposite of the answer and we're stuck. Okay. Okay, we get another eye. Upon taking the eye in your hand, you suddenly feel drowsy and fall asleep. We're back in the maze. So the question is, do we go the same way where we ran into the Minotaur last time? To see if we always run into the Minotaur there? I wonder how much it matters which way we pick. Sample size of 1 doesn't tell us anything. Let's see if he's always here. Oh, the maze has changed. Okay. Right was a dead end before, and now it's not. Interesting. Well, I guess we'll keep going right. And now we're at a dead end. There's a shadow following you, Argus. A burden as heavy as a Douglas fir. You know, it really depends on the size of the tree. That's a very bad description. Let the flame inside you grow. What does that mean? You're being very cryptic. So I guess we are playing as Argus. Probably. The chaotic elegance of the bourgeoisie, I think. Whatever. Episode 11, exactly like Vaughn. Or it could be episode 2 if they're using Roman numeral. Feigns. So that's when I told him to just put it in. And it wasn't too dry? Not at all. It's important to mix the dry ingredients first for a good result. And how was the cake in the end? It was lovely. And that's not even a lie. I see what you did there. Oh, Argus, I have missed our deep and philosophical conversations. So did I, my good friend Philip. Who the hell is Philip? Don't you remember your best friend's name? I'm Fanes. My apologies, Fanes. All that time asleep in the cave must have given me a bit of amnesia. Yes, that must be it. Of course, that does make sense. And maybe that's also why you don't laugh at my jokes anymore. But I don't have time to tell you another one at the moment. Circe is waiting for me. We are planning a little surprise for you. That's too kind. I'm sure you'll love it. See you soon, Argus. Yes, see you soon, Philip. What was that? I heard a noise. Oh, it's you. I was wondering when you'll find me. What's up? What's up? What is up? You dare ask me what is up? You ruined my life. So they're both named Argus, so that's confusing. Bloody hell, you don't have to be so dramatic. I only kept you asleep for a while. That's what you wanted anyway. That's not true. I never wanted this. Come on now, I know you. You were so miserable before. What else could you have done without me? I needed more time, it was none of your business, or just you suck. Well, if they're both Argus, I don't know that you could say it was none of their business. I'm just gonna go with you suck, because it's funny. Ouch, is that all you have to say? You'll pay for what you have done. And what are you gonna do, little Argus? Fight me? You can try all you want. You'll never beat me. Evil twin brother, HP 450. What is happening? Come on, Argus, show me what you got. But know this, I'm stronger than you think. Yeah, we have a lot less health here. So we can fight, insult, hug, or run. Well, if we are in a coma, and these are like different parts of our personality or something, you can't really defeat part of yourself. So I don't know that fighting it is really gonna help. Maybe we should just try hugging it out. This probably won't work, but... No, I do not want your affection. Get away from me. Oh, that actually did a lot of damage. What is happening? It's not possible. How could you beat me like that? You must have cheated. Somehow. But know this, Argus. You won't get rid of me so easily. I'll keep following your every move, hidden in the shadows. So keep your eyes open. The end. Emotional damage, yes, exactly. An antique candle holder is in the middle of the room, while a large table is to the south and a small bookshelf on the eastern wall, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you wake up from a strange dream and can see things with more awareness. A door is unlocked in the waiting room. It keeps telling me I can see with more awareness, but I don't know if that's just like the door outside said you had to have like perfect vision, or if like we go somewhere will we see something we didn't see before? I don't know. Waiting room. There are 2 locked doors in the room, a hatch on the ceiling leading upstairs and a staircase leading downstairs. The doors to the south and west are unlocked, so west is the new one. I guess we'll just check out the west room. The Troubadour's Garden. You are in a large room filled with dead flowers. Once a beautiful garden, the only things that remain are decay and despair. There's a piano in the room, as well as an old desk and a mannequin. The exit door is to the east. Why is there a mannequin? Let's look at the mannequin. Is it gonna kill me? The mannequin is wearing a harlequin costume and a mask. That's not creepy at all. Can I take the costume and the mask? You can't take that. You remove the costume from the mannequin and decide to wear it yourself. You feel rather silly in this accoutrement. Okay, I didn't say to put it on. I just said to take it. The mannequin is naked. Better not stare at him too much. Oh yeah, we wouldn't want to get demonetized. Let's see. Let's look at the piano, I guess. Okay, so we can play the piano. I assume we're gonna have to figure out what to play. Look at the desk. There's a closed drawer, and multiple cards are face down on the desk. Well, let's open the drawer. There's a small container of worms and a note inside the drawer. Okay, I'm gonna read the note, I guess. The note says, just like these flowers, death and decay await me. There is no purpose other than a slow and agonizing collapse. Well, that's a rather fatalistic view of things. Let's look at the container. Okay, look at the worms then. I didn't say open it, but you look at the container's lid and see some of the worms crawling in the dirt. Well, I guess I'm gonna take the worms, because I'm hoarding everything. Okay, let's look at the desk again. There is something on top, right? There are multiple cards face down on the desk. Can we look at the cards? Okay. Okay, are we playing a matching game? I guess we are. I don't know why. You found all music notes. Okay, it still says the cards are face down. I don't know. Can I look at the cards? No. What am I supposed to do with this? Okay, maybe if I go back to the piano, they'll be there. I don't know. I don't know why I'm having trouble spelling piano. It's literally right in front of my face. Okay, yeah, it did give me these. C-A-G-E. Another I. Upon taking the I in your hand, you suddenly feel drowsy and fall asleep. Well, I guess we're gonna keep going right. Oh, well, straight it is then. Oh, dead end. You're getting closer, Argus. The magnum opus awaits. A golden sight is on the horizon. Okay, digital minotaur man. I don't know what that means. Episode 3, La Revive Impossible. Ah, Circe. A dragonfly and a top hat. I don't know why that strikes me as one of the more ridiculous things happening here, considering everything. My dear Argus, how lovely it is to see you again. It's great to see you as well, Circe. You barely aged since the last time I saw you. How nice of you to say. I heard you had some family issues recently. Something like that, yes. But it's all behind me now, and it won't be bothering me anymore. How splendid. I am glad to hear it. Fane's probably told you about the little surprise we had in store for you. Not that I'm aware of. He must have told it to someone else who looked exactly like me. What a peculiar situation. What is this, a soap opera? But yes, he was talking to the evil brother, I think. But yes, we did plan a little something for your return. And don't worry, it is better than one of Fane's jokes. See that easel and painting tools over there? It's time, Argus. You need to start painting again. I appreciate the gesture, my dear Circe, but I'm not sure it's a good idea. And why is that? I'm afraid I lost my skills. I was never meant to be an artist, or I can't paint without my muse. I guess I'm afraid I lost my skills. You probably have, but you won't get better by not painting. Nonsense. You cannot forget such amazing skills. I don't know, Circe. Everything I've done in the past has never gotten me anywhere. Well, maybe this new painting will be different. I simply ask you to try one more time. I'll never mention it again. You can trust me. Alright then, I might give it another try, but only this once. Marvelous. Everything is set over there. Oh boy. What am I even going to paint? And what is this color selection? Okay, this is weird. Do you want to erase your painting? Yes. Okay, so we can't, like... We don't have an erase tool. Oh no, it's not digital art. I can't undo. This is awful. Unless this is undo. But I wonder if that's leave. Let's see. Okay, it does have an undo button. Oof. Okay, so that's solid. This is that, and I assume this is like a fine point. It is. I wonder how they're like doing the jiggling effect. That's interesting. Oh, but it's only one layer undo. That's good to know. I have no idea. I guess we'll paint like a cat's face or something, because I have a convenient reference snoozing on my desk. I should warn you, I don't practice art much, so it won't turn out very beautiful, but we'll make it work. Don't have much in the way of colors, so I guess we're going to go for Impressionist style. I'm also not used to drawing with the mouse. And there's no symmetry tool. Hmm. I don't like how that turned out. There we go. What color to go for? I mean, I guess the orange is sort of cat fur. I guess we could go for like kind of a mixture of some of these different blues. Oh, don't want to cover up the nose. There we go. I don't know. Well, there we go. It's not absolutely horrible. Are you done with your painting? I guess I am. How beautiful, Argus. This is without a doubt your best work. Oh, man. Argus, you need a lot more practice, man. All those little details and the color you used there are simply gorgeous. Thank you, Cersei. I was quite inspired, I guess. I can see that. It was an honor to have witnessed such incredible artists at work. Now, let me talk with some of my friends. What? I'm sure one of them will be delighted to showcase it in their gallery. You're too kind, Cersei. It did feel good to have a brush in my hands again. A few moments later. Wow. I cannot believe it. My first painting in a gallery. I am quite overwhelmed. You well deserve it, Argus. And can I say that this is the perfect spot for your painting? It is perfect, Cersei. I could not have asked for something better than this. Thank you again. All the pleasure was mine. Now let's see if there is any potential buyers around here. I am sure your painting will catch the eye of anyone who has good taste. The end. This is a very strange coma. Two mystic eyes remain. You wake from a strange dream and can see things with more awareness. A door is unlocked in the waiting room. Waiting room. The north door is the new one unlocked. Does the clock? No, it still says 6:09. Okay. I guess we check out the new unlocked door to the north. Room of the Lunatic Diver. You are in a large room filled with regrets. The air feels heavier than anywhere else in the house, and your breathing is slowing. You can see a large aquarium in the room, as well as an old radio, a safe, and a typewriter. The exit door is to the south. Let's look at the aquarium. Are there any fish in the aquarium? You see a golden eel in the aquarium. It looks hungry. I don't think I have any food on. Well, I do have the worms, actually. Do eels eat worms? I have no idea. Worms on aquarium. Oh, he has a symbol on it. I guess this eel does eat worms. I assume that this will be important. I think this is an alchemy symbol, but I am not really up to speed on those. It is a symbol used in many puzzle games. That much I know for sure. He's looking at me. Why is the eel looking at me? Okay, well, there were no fish. I don't think an eel is technically a fish, but there was something in the aquarium. So there's the safe and the typewriter. Well, let's look at the typewriter. I assume this is instead of like the diary that's been in the other ones. There's a page in the typewriter. You can read, I went outside to look at the moon one last time. I always imagined there was an angel living there and guiding us towards our true destination. Okay. Let's look at this. Well, let's look at the room description. Oh, there's a radio. Okay. But there's not like a desk. What is the typewriter setting on? Let's look at the safe. I imagine we don't know what to do yet. Oh, Okay, I guess the typewriter mentioning the moon gave us that. So we just need to look at the radio, I guess. An old radio with a battery slot at the bottom. Well, no, it's not going to be insert. It's going to be use, right? This game is very particular. Use battery on radio. Okay, Sun is the only one giving something. So, okay, let's look at the safe. Moon, sun, whatever that is. Oh, look, another eye. Okay. Upon taking the eye in your hand, you suddenly feel drowsy and fall asleep. The maze is gone. What do we do about that? I guess we will go right. There's a well. Duck. You found the second part of the password. Am I gonna have to remember that? Okay, and there's a rubber duck, which I can't get. Sad. Okay. What's straight? A gate. Password, please. I don't know the password. Then come back when you have it and stop wasting my time. Rude. Oh, okay, a horse-drawn carriage with no horses. You found the first part of the password. The Argus, Sir Argus principles, the Dark Knight seance, sauce, something. Okay, that's it. Okay. Dark Night of the Soul, I guess. Thank you. Have a nice trip. Okay. I don't know what this is. You're almost there, my brave Argus. You're finding your vision again, and I am so proud of you. Soon, you will unlock the sanctum and return to your life, leaving the shadows of a crumbling house. Do you feel the flame within you burning high, the longing fading away, the sorrow slowly disappearing? I'm sure you do. Now go, you're almost there. Wake up and finish what you started. And remember, don't turn away from love, Argus. What, no Minotaur cartoon this time? That was very weird. You wake up from a strange dream and can see things with more awareness. A door is unlocked in the waiting room. Okay. There was no puzzle to that dream, just... Okay. I guess we will go through the east door, which is now unlocked. This is not text-based anymore, and we're not dreaming. That's interesting. Through the void you escaped, a quiet burden still remains, a shadow you built and shaped, together holding the reins. Okay. Okay, so that was the clue for what order to put these in. Okay, so void, shadow, void, burden, shadow, together? What were the options? Okay, so it's void, shadow. Yeah, void, shadow, burden together. Okay, these only click into the right spot. Void, burden, shadow together. Yeah, okay. Is that right? Yeah, okay. I just got those backwards. Well, there's the last eye. I guess we collect it. Upon taking the eye in your hand, you suddenly feel drowsy and fall asleep. So will we see the Minotaur or not this time? Oh, now we're in the maze. Weird. Oh, did we go back to the beginning? I don't know. I'm guessing we're not supposed to take the directions at the eye. But this is a dead end. Okay. You are almost on top of the tower, Argus. The shadows are slowly disappearing, revealing the albatross within. What is that supposed to mean? Episode 4, On the Wings of Love. That was an incredible painting, Argus. I loved it. Thank you, Fanes. I do believe it was my best work yet. Oh, it was, my friend. Although I did like that series you did a few years back about that octopus in a garden. Anyhow, I asked you to come here for something else, my good friend. After much consideration, I do believe you are ready for the next step. What's the next step? I told you before, I'm not into the whole baking cake thing you love so much. Oh no, Argus, it's not that. Even if I'm sure you would actually enjoy it. You're here because you need to date again, my friend. To find your one true love. Are you ready for that? I'm not wearing the right bow tie for that. I think so, or who would want to date me? I'm not wearing the right bow tie for that. Nonsense, you're wearing your best one, and you know it. It's the perfect length. I've selected a few people who are eager to meet you. Choose wisely, my friend. 3 flowers away, 5 flowers away. Monka18, unknown flowers away. This account has been deleted due to several complaints and disappearances. Do not try to contact her. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna pick one, I guess. Excellent choice. Celine will be here soon. It's so nice to meet you. Fanes told me you're a painter. That must be a lot of fun. I guess it is, yes. I couldn't live without a brush. What about you? Oh, I don't have one, but I've thought about it once. I meant, what do you do in life? Oh, that. Well, I work in a library. It's not as fascinating as being an artist, but it's nice. Do you like to read? I don't read as much as I used to, but I do enjoy it, yes. How lovely. What's your favorite book? How to manipulate without suspicion. That would be a red flag, I assume. I don't think I've read either of these. I guess I'll do the first one. I don't know. Oh, I love that book. Those letters are so profound, aren't they? It's a great choice. Since you're a librarian, it must be difficult to choose a favorite. It is, but I'll always hold a special place in my heart for Don Quixote. Have you read that one? Can't say I have. But Fanes told me that the main character made him think of me. How intriguing. I'll be sure to avoid windmills when I'm with you. Anyway, I heard your art got shown in a gallery recently. You must have been happy about it. Oh, I was. It was quite surreal. Oh, I'm sure it was. Do you already have plans for what your next painting will be? A giant orchid in the moonlight, I guess? How wonderful. I love looking at orchids under the weeping moon. The weeping moon? I'm sure you'll make it great. And maybe I could see you at work sometimes and inspire you in some ways. The pleasure would be all mine. And who knows, maybe I finally found my muse. Oh, stop flattering or I'll get all flustered. Maybe some other time, though. It was a pleasure to meet you, Argus. It was nice meeting you, Celine. I hope to see you again soon. 2 years later. Remember our first date here, Argus? From the moment I first saw you, I knew you'd be the one. I felt the same way. I love you, Celine. Oh, I love you too, Argus. Now let's go on a flower and pollinate that, shall we? Okay. The end. Okay. This game is weird. There are 4 unlocked doors in each direction, a hatch on the ceiling, as well as a staircase leading downstairs. You can hear the sound of a door being unlocked outside the house. Well, I guess the only way out of this house is through the cellar door, which is weird. So we'll go down, and I guess we'll go east, outside, and then east again. Is the duck still at the pond? I already named him Herbert the last time I looked at him, but okay. Herbert's still there. You're at the end of the path. A small octagonal building is to the east. A door is in front of you with a sign next to it that says only those with perfect vision may enter the Sanctum Sanctorum. Well, we have all of the mystic eyes, so I guess we have perfect vision. The door is unlocked. You can now open it. Okay. Why is there a payphone in my coma dream? Do they even make payphones anymore? So there's a book, a payphone, and a TV, I guess. Let's look at the book. Can I read this? I cannot actually read that. I hope you aren't expecting me to be able to read this. So these are like the different dream sequences we had with the different bugs, I think. Okay, we can put one of the eyes we collected in here, I guess. Babylon. Okay. Okay, a window. Oh, it's not actually a TV, it's a computer. Another window. Oh, what is this? In case I forget Neptune. 45203. All pain and no joy makes Argus asleep in the deep. All pain and no joy makes Argus asleep in the deep. Okay, let's just that over and over again. Another number. Milk, eggs, eggplant, cookies, and pineapple. Okay. Well, I guess I'll write down these numbers. I don't know. I'm not sure what to make of any of this. And I guess Neptune, whatever that's supposed to mean. Do you think I need the shopping list? Probably not, but okay.
I know it's late. I don't know what we were or what we were supposed to be now, but I miss you. I just, I miss the way you saw the world. I miss how quiet felt full around you. I don't need you to say anything. I'm not even expecting anything, but just know you mattered, and you still do.
Okay. Okay, and this one we can put an I in. That's very weird to call a phone number and put an eyeball in it. Rahu Kahoot. Okay. Okay. Wait, what? Can I not rotate these any other direction? Maybe I only send it in from one side? Okay, I don't need to solve both sides. Okay. I think that's supposed to be the Minotaur, but he looks a little weird. Harupakrat. Okay. Oh, a painting. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with the windows. Maybe nothing. What do we do with the computer? Herbert. Okay, we have a picture of the duck Herbert. That's interesting. We have a picture of a chicken. Note, please enter the password. Well, it's probably Neptune, I guess. Oh. I put the green peas in the dark room. Herbert used to love those. More than anyone else, I will miss him dearly once I'm ready to stay in the Peacock house for good. If only I wasn't afraid to climb the tower and face the ghosts that keep tormenting me. The eyes are stored and the slumber can begin. Okay, so we like deliberately locked ourselves away. Somehow. Albatross, I saw a third. I heard his voice. It is the hermit. Good. He singeth loud his godly hymns that he makes in the wood. He'll shrieve my soul. He'll wash away the albatross's blood. Okay. Oh, a slider puzzle. These always give me some trouble. Where you have like this situation where you're only off by like 2 slots or something. Yeah. Now this is in the wrong spot. How? Ah. Um. This. Am I doing this right? Somehow I solved it. And I don't think it even gives me anything for solving it. Well, I did it anyways, so does it say it stays solved? So I guess if we need it for something. Ritual.exe. Yep, that seems like a great plan. Okay, I'm just doing a letter search, I guess. SIS. Okay, that's weird. Now we're in a text game inside of our text game, which isn't a text game anymore. You are standing inside a tower. Some candles are lit, and you can see stairs going up. Let me see. Are these the same? Okay, this is like the same rules, but I don't have anything on me. Okay. Let's look at the candles. I didn't spell that right. Look at candles. This is. Okay, I can't do anything with the candles. I guess. Can I take a candle? No. Okay, I guess we're just going to go up. You start climbing the tower. The more you go up, the more you feel your sorrow and dread slowly vanishing. I guess I keep going up then. You pass a window as you keep going up. You can see the full moon in the night sky, and the air is getting colder. You still need to go up before reaching the top of the tower. Up. As you keep climbing, you feel somewhat lighter, as if the heavy weight of your burdens is finally leaving your tired body. It's getting darker and darker at this level of the tower, but you can feel you're almost at the top. Up. You have the impression that someone is following you, but all you can see behind you is your shadow, which seems to move slightly differently from the way you do. I don't know that I can do anything about that if I can't see anything. I'm going to keep going up, I guess. You finally reach your destination. You open another wooden door which locks behind you. You cannot go back the way you came from and are stuck at the top of the tower. The sky is full of stars, and the only way to leave is to jump. That seems like a bad idea. Look at the sky. You can see the full moon more clearly, which is surrounded by so many stars. Look at the moon. As you observe the moon, you have the impression that you are hearing whispers in the air that seem to say, "It is coming now, my friend, and it is the end." Look at the stars. Okay, that doesn't give me anything. I don't have anything on me. I can't open the door. I guess we have to jump off. I don't know. You stand at the edge of the tower, ready to take a leap of faith. You know that from this height you will most likely die, but you jump nonetheless. You leave everything behind and feel more alive than before. You remembered your dreams and unlocked the Sanctum Sanctorum. Only one eye left to place in order to complete the ritual and leave the Peacock House. The isolation years are soon behind you. Do you want to leave? Yes? Oh, it doesn't want me to leave. We really shouldn't be staring directly into the sun. We've gone blind. A few moments later. Okay. I guess I can click on these paintings. It is a painting of some woods. A walk in the forest without shadows, Argus Hightower. Okay, so that's one of the characters' paintings, I guess. The Cave of Infinite Longing, Argus Hightower. Start of Something Beautiful, Argus Hightower. Do you want to look at the Peacock House painting? I don't think I do, no. Finding Purpose Within a Dream, Argus Hightower. I guess we will have no choice but to look at the Peacock House painting. Doesn't seem like we can do anything else. Okay. Boy, that place looks like a dump. And the eye has disappeared. Huh? What? The end. A game by Harlequin Diver. Internet janitor. Made with Decker, a program for your computer. I don't know that I'm familiar with Decker, actually. You wore the Harlequin costume. You didn't find the secret room. You didn't feed the duck. You didn't find Neptune. You pushed the button 2 times. Okay. I wonder what I could have fed the duck. And where was the secret room? Well, there are definitely secrets to be found. I will save before quitting, because it's asking that. All right. Now I need to change some settings back from how I was capturing that. Okay, so that was I liked it, but it was a very surreal kind of experience. The game's only $3, 3 USD, so I think it was really good for what it is. Yeah, I think there's definitely like some subtext to the story. I think escaping the pit of depression is kind of the vibes I got from it.